Tomorrow, the NBA will release the schedule for next season, which will include those much-anticipated matchups for opening day and Christmas Day.
But this year, the league is also set to make a big change aimed at getting out the vote.
NBC News correspondent Shaquille Brewster joins us from Brooklyn with this exclusive. So, Shaq, we all know, or we all want to know, what the NBA's announcement and what sort of impact this is going to have on getting out the vote. What can you tell us about it?
Well, yeah, let's get right to that headline because NBC News is the first to report this. And that's when the NBA releases their schedule tomorrow. It will show no games, 0 games on Election Day. Additionally, all 30 teams will play the eve of the election, that Monday night before, for what they're branding as a civic engagement night. This is a pretty significant departure. We went back and looked at the 2018 midterm elections, and we saw that there were 8 teams that had games that election day. When you go back to 2014, 16 teams competed on that election day. So they are eliminating election day games. And we spoke to an MSNBC columnist about this, Dave Zirin, about the impact this could have. Listen to what he told us.
It's unprecedented. I mean, we're a country that, unlike a lot of other countries, don't do federal holiday for election days and voting days. That makes the United States unusual in terms of democratic nations in the world. And so the NBA is basically saying, okay, for our players, it's not going to be a work day. And for U.S. Voters, maybe it shouldn't be a play day either.
Now, he also made the point that this did not come out of nowhere. You'll remember that the Barclays Center, where I'm at right now, it was an actual polling location for voters on the 2020 election day. You saw that happen with about 23 facilities, arenas and team facilities across the country. So this is the NBA saying that they're building on what they did in past cycles, in the 2020 election cycle, to make sure that fans take the midterm elections just as seriously as they did the presidential.
Now, Shaq, I know you recently spoke with the executive director of the NBA Social Justice Coalition. First, here's what he said about how fans might react to this.
Not everybody is going to like everything that you do, but you don't do impact work by referendum. You do it because you think it matters and because you think it represents the values of the organization.
So, Shaq, I think maybe the question there, maybe what's being alluded to is some fans thinking that the sport, this league, is becoming too political. I mean, are there concerns over that, over losing support for any reason like that?
Look, that is always the risk when you do something like this. This is the NBA weighing into the election, influencing the election, saying that they want their fans and participants and staff and players to go out and participate in this midterm election. But one thing that you heard, not just from the NBA, but when you listen to people who watch and observe what the moves that the NBA makes, and when you see what different organizations are doing, they say this fits what the NBA has been doing in the past. The Social Justice Coalition that they have, that he's the executive director of, that was formed after the murder of George Floyd, after the shooting of Jacob Blake. NBA players have been vocal about wanting to get out. And one thing that you see with the NBA, they say, yes, we do have political priorities, but in order to achieve those political priorities, you need to go out and vote. They combine the action of voting with what they want to see through policy. So this fits what we've seen from the NBA increasingly in recent years, Savannah.
And so, Shaq, as we mentioned, home teams are going to be hosting what they're calling civic engagement nights on the Monday before the primaries. What are those? What can we expect at those games?
Yeah. There's still a lot more to learn about how each individual team is going to brand their night. You know, if you go to different games, you have different themed nights. There's sometimes the volunteer night or a first responders night. Well, this is a night that's going to be dedicated to teaching people and making sure that fans know how they can participate in the election. For some stadiums, that will mean voter registration, where it's too late to register to vote. There'll be assistance on how you can vote, how to get to your polling location. The big thing that the big message that you're getting from the NBA is that they want fans to be able to participate in this election. While it's nonpartisan, they're not saying how they want fans to vote. They want any fan who wants to participate in the election to be able to participate in this election. And again, it follows what we saw in 2020 when they opened up many of their facilities for not only election day activities, but for things like absentee ballot drop-offs and absentee ballot counting.
All right, Shaq with an exclusive report on the NBA. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.